In an exercise, we had to display a digital clock, and we did that by using a set interval that updates the time every second. And I said that we had to discuss if it's better to use set interval or setTimeout. This is such an old problem that I think is worth discussing it now, even if you should know. But maybe you started recently, you don't really understand the difference. Let's cut some pizza. JavaScript is a language. Don't be scared of JavaScript. JavaScript is very flexible. JavaScript is your friend. It's not magic. Don't be scared of JavaScript. A bit complicated. Quite a bit complicated. Next time we'll start making it a bit prettier. How does set interval works? Set interval says, I will try to do something every X time. But what happens if JavaScript is busy for longer than the timer? In this case, it's 1 second, so it's unlikely. But for example, if you close the lid of your laptop, what will happen to that timer? And what will happen is this interval will start accumulating, because in the JS loop, any interval goes at the end of the current pipeline. So it will be executed sooner or later, but they start accumulating if I'm still within the code execution. That's bad. That's really bad, because when does that happen is when your code is low. And when your code is low, you add even more operation to every loop by making the code even slower, which means the interval at a certain point, it will explode. No good. I understand in modern computers it doesn't happen as often, but it is not good, especially because in this case, I'm based on date. So I don't care if the computer is frozen for 20 minutes. Next time I will set the date, it will set it correctly. I don't need to do every tick. How do we solve this? And maybe one day we talk how do we solve when I even need to count the tick anyway, which is something I had to do when I was trying to do a market simulation, but I couldn't obviously use set interval. We use a setTimeout. The classic pattern will be I call a setTimeout, and at the end of the setTimeout, I call this function again. But this is impossible in React, or at least is not what I expect to see in React. The easier way for React is because React already has a mechanism to say when something changed called this useEffect. And what happened is something changed because I'm changing it here. I'm changing the timer. I can just say that every time the time change, I want to call this function again. Everything apparently works as before, but now if everything is stopped, nothing will happen because the execution will not create a new setTimeout till this setTimeout is executed. So if for any reason within this second the computer freezes, it will just wait. And now it's your time to cut some pizza.